Welcome to Ole Walls House. It's me, it's your man, it's your main man, it's Ole Walls, and I'm back with you. Episode 185, coming your way, breaking down the British Open. Wiater and Slano are back to wrap up major season with me here as we discuss Scotty Scheffler's win at the British Open. I'll talk some other things, obviously, Cleveland Guardians, my passing thoughts, all that good stuff. Before I get to that, just want to say thank you to everybody. Appreciate the support, appreciate the watches, appreciate all the listens. So thank you. Don't forget, check out my guy MJ over at the Full Range Pod. You can find that on Spotify at the Full Range Podcast, and you can find it on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out the merch store, both Full Range and Ole Walls House merch in there on Fourth Wall. The link is in the show notes below. But also, if you're just listening and want to know how to type it in, it is Ole, O-L-E, dash Walls, W-A-L-L-S, dash shop, S-H-O-P, dot fourthwall.com. That is F-O-U-R-T-H-W-A-L-L.com. Go on there, check out some merch. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, major season has officially come to an end, and here to close that out with me, two of the most frequent guests we've had here of late, Mr. Matt Wiater and Mr. Jeff Slanovec. Wiater, how are you doing tonight?
Jordan, doing wonderful. It is a pleasure to be here, as always.
Jeff, how are you, friend?
Pleasure to be here.
Well, you know, something miraculous happened this week here. Scotty Scheffler won a golf tournament. We got our bi-weekly update on his child. You know, we're keeping right up with him. We get to see him out so often, as I'm sure everybody's seen the jokes on Twitter. But Scotty Scheffler wins in a runaway. I believe the final margin is 4. Probably could have been a little more had he not gotten a little risky with the one bunker shot there. But let's just do initial thoughts here. Jeff, we'll start with you. Initial thoughts. Scotty Scheffler claims his 4th major, 2nd of the year. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's really, really good. We talked in the preview pod about how it certainly was a major that fit him. It was a course that fit him. I shouldn't say major that fit him, but this course within the majors that is a little bit different than some of the others and required more of the iron ball striking type than some of them, which have just become bomb and kind of figure it out. And the course conditions were pretty easy, especially the last 3 days. And when his putter gets going, it does not seem to matter what everybody else wants to try to do. And the putter cooperated this weekend. And I didn't watch one golf shot on Sunday, as neither did my partner here, Matt. So we didn't have to.
I will say, I don't think watching golf shots on Sunday matters at all for this discussion, because it's really not going to be about the tournament, I don't think, predominantly here. So, Wiater?
No, I mean, with the course conditions and the weather conditions, right? It was ideal for Scotty if he was hitting it good to just go out there and peer it around the place, and he got himself a lead. And, you know, they talk about the AM, PM wave mattering depending on the weather, and it just did not seem to really matter that much this year.
Yeah, and something you mentioned already, Jeff, when the putter works for Scotty. And usually when the putter works, we're like, he just has to not give strokes away on the greens. Well, he led the field in putting this week, strokes gained, plus 2.13 on the weekend. Well, technically, Tom Kim and Tom McKibben were better than him, but they did not play the weekend. So of those people who made the cut, he was the leader on the green. Not shockingly, Harris English finished second there, who he also did finish second in the tournament. But there's been a lot of talk in recent years about a lot of Scotty's game, and a lot of it was the putter's a liability. That is not the case anymore. I found this cool little tweet here, which was I found just shocking. I know the putter has gotten better for Scotty, but this is how much better it's gotten. If I can find it, I took so many pictures of tweets because so many of them were incredible. So he's been the best iron player in the world. No shock there. Over the last 2 years, he's been the second best driver of the golf ball. He's been fifth best around the green. And over the last 6 months, he's been the 10th best putter in the world. So it was unfair before. It's now really unfair. I mean, if Scotty Scheffler keeps putting well, I don't even know what we do here. Like, we should just stop. Like, there's no point in playing these tournaments if Scotty's going to have a putter that's top 15, top 20, let alone top 10. Like, it's absurd. It's a cheat code. It's like when you get to the end of Tiger Woods and you've been playing for a while and you start out just jacking the power up. And then by the end, you're like, I just need to put bonus points in other spots. And you're like, we'll start throwing them in putting. And now you don't miss putts either. It's just not right.
Yeah, I think something too with the putting I saw for at least this week. I think they're at the green speeds were averaging like 11 compared to the other majors where they are averaging like a 14. So I don't know if that played into it a little bit for him where, he knew putts weren't really ever going to get away from him in most instances.
I don't know what it was, but he liked it.
I think we talked about this probably at some point on a pod a while back. I think the putting numbers were obviously not great all the time, but I think sometimes there was a chance that was exaggerated by the narrative that he literally couldn't putt, and the entire world was telling you that he can't putt. And I think some of that has to do with the fact that he's also hitting it closer than anybody else in the world all those times. So when he has 5 feet, it's because he's hitting it to 5 feet. It's not a chip for par for 5 feet, right? And he's got more 8 to 20 foot birdie putts than everybody else in the tournament, right? And obviously there were definitely bad weeks with the putter, and the stats would show that. But maybe some of it was just the wear and tear of listening to people say you can't putt and having to answer those questions every week, and that being a bigger issue for him actually than his stroke. And now he seems to not care about that potentially, and the putts are going in, and a lot of people seem to be in trouble when he plays.
There were also some really crazy stats on a podcast I was listening to that we're talking about since he's gone to the mallet. It's even further exacerbated how much better he's gotten since he switched to the mallet too. So
thanks, Rory.
Yeah, Rory's probably kicking himself for mentioning that. Not that Scotty wouldn't have probably got there anyway, but just absurd. Like, just absurd stuff. I mean, you go across the strokes gained this week. 2.13 putting. He actually lost strokes around the green, 0.42, which is actually pretty surprising. 2.54 approach, no surprise there. Tee to green, 2.19. And maybe one of the most surprising things, because I just mentioned he's been the second best driver of the golf ball over the last 2 years. He barely gained strokes off the tee, 0.07. So he did this like on an off week with the driver, you could say. Like, it wasn't his best stuff, and he still lapped the field. He was up by 7 at one point until he tried to hit a pretty wild shot out of a bunker. It looked like he was going for the green out of a bunker with a huge lip and left it right in the bunker and ends up making double. But then immediately bounces back and hits it to like 6 feet on the next hole, of course, because he's got the best bounce back stat in the world, which is also incredible. Like, when this dude does make bogeys, he's like, I'm just going to follow it with a birdie. Like, I think it's like 40% of the time. Check me on that number. But like, what a stupid stat. Like, when you do make bogeys, you just immediately cancel them out, and it does. It's incredible. I don't even know what to say anymore about him.
35.3%.
That's stupid.
Well, more than a third of the time.
Well, he validates if you're not putting good, just buy a new putter.
That's what every golf manufacturer in the world would love to hear right there.
Yeah.
Why don't I just go through here and list some of the other amazing things about Scotty here that I took off some screenshots. Players to win at least 2 majors in a year and finish in the top 7 in the others. This is post-Masters era. Arnold Palmer in 1960, Nicklaus in 75, Watson in 77, Tiger in 2000 and 05, Spieth in 15, Scotty now in 2025. Scotty's, this is what I thought was funny. Scotty's first 70 PGA Tour starts, 0 wins. His next 80, 17 wins, 2 Masters, 4 majors, 2 players, and a gold medal. Also, the exact same number of days from third time it took to win 4 majors as Tiger to the day, 1,197. Scotty Scheffler has essentially equaled Jordan Spieth's career in 16 months. 12 wins, 3 of the 4 majors, by a combined 13 shots in the majors and a gold medal. All of that has happened since March of 2024.
Wow.
Players to win 4 majors by 3 strokes or more since the first Masters. Tiger did it 7 times. Jack did it 6. Scotty has done it 4. Ted Scott would be roughly 60th on the PGA Tour money list this year, just based off his earnings from Scotty. Players to win multiple majors by 4 shots or more in the same season since the first Masters was held. Ben Hogan, 1953. Tiger Woods, 2000. Scotty Scheffler, 2025. And then this absolutely incredible picture. Expect anything different. And at this point, I don't know.
Do you have the stat of all the guys who made the cut in all 4 majors this year and what their total to par was? I saw that somewhere. That was pretty incredible, too.
I didn't, but talk about something and I can find that.
Yeah, I think there was like 15 to 20 guys who made the cut in all 4, and his number compared to the second place is pretty incredible. I want to say he was like minus 32 or something.
Make cut.
I didn't see that, but I saw the Wikipedia screenshot of all the colored boxes for top, top 5s and 10s or 10s and 20s. It's just,
I found the 16 players who did it. It doesn't give me their 2 par. I can't find it. I'm sure it's just another.
It's something, just to add to like all the other crazy stats you were rattling off.
There was another one that I must have taken a different picture of. I'll have to find it here. It was something like players to win 4 majors in 4 years. It's just like another stupid list of guys. It's like Tiger, Scotty, Arnold Palmer, Brooks Koepka's in there somewhere too. Just incredible. I did scroll through and find this while you're talking about players to make all 4 cuts in the majors. Only 1 player played in all 4 this year and missed all 4, and that would be Cam Smith.
There was.
What a fall off for that guy. Yeah, I can't find the other one about the 4 majors in 4 years. Let me see. Give me one last chance here. Nope, it's gone. I lost it forever.
There's a chance that this could be slightly hot coming in here, but Cam Smith, had he not left the PGA Tour, possible that his not quite as long of a good window as Jordan Spieth had there, but his little period was very Spiethian.
Yeah.
Like, didn't drive it great, hit some fantastic iron shots at times, wizard with the putter.
Yep.
And just got hot for whatever it was, 12 months, 18 months, and all of a sudden now he isn't a wizard anymore with the putter and short game, and he can't do anything else.
Yeah, because he went to live right after he won that British in 2022.
Like immediately after.
Like they were asking him about it in the press conference, I remember.
Yeah.
And he was like trying to deflect it. He's like, I just won this, man. Like, what kind of question's that? It's like, turns out everybody was right. Here's Scotty. We'll just go to 2020 because that's pretty much when he turned pro, I believe. T19, T4, didn't play in the U.S. Open, no British Open in 2020. 2021, T18 at the Masters, T8 at the PGA, T7 at the U.S. Open, T8 at the British. 2022, first, missed the cut at the PGA, His only miscut as a professional, I believe. T2 at the U.S. Open, T21 at the British. 2023, T10 at the Masters, T2 at the PGA, third at the U.S. Open, T23 at the British. 24, wins the Masters, T8 at the PGA, T41 at the U.S. Open, which is his worst made cut finish. British Open, T7, then this year 4, win, T7, win. Not a bad start for Mr. Scheffler there.
I found the stat.
Nice.
So Scotty was minus 32. Rory's in second at minus 11. Xander is third and minus 10. Rahm is next and minus 6. Harris English minus 5. And I mean, then from there, there's a couple guys at 1 under, 1 over. A couple interesting names on the list of players to make all 4 cuts, though.
I think I saw Aaron Rye on there.
That was the first one I was going to say. Rasmus Højgaard made all 4 cuts. Brian Harman. He's the worst to par score of them at plus 17, but he made all 4 cuts. Maverick McNeely.
Yeah, Matt McNeely's been playing some solid golf this year.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. The only other players to win 4 majors in 4 years or less: Ben Hogan, Arnold Palmer, Tiger, and Rory. And Brooks Koepka, sorry. Brooks wasn't capitalized, so I missed it. Oh, here's the mallet thing. He's 32 tournaments since he switched to the mallet, 14 wins. And 23 major starts as a pro, 20 top 25s. I think it was 16 top 10s. Yeah, 16 top 10s. It's stupid. Like, it's not Tiger 2000, but it's Tiger almost everywhere else levels of achievement. And it's crazy. I think we talked when he won the PGA, and the over-under number we were talking about was 9.5. And I was like, 7 would be pretty goddamn good. When you guys were all like, oh no, 8, 9, 10. Someone might have said 11. And man, I'm feeling like I need to revise that 7 back up. Are you guys still feeling confident about double digits here?
Oh, yeah. He's getting to 10.
Yep.
He's getting to 10.
I will say it, and he had some comments in a press conference. Basically, just to distill it down, what I took out was like, hey, golf doesn't define me. He's like, I want to do well at golf, but like at the end of the day, like, I'm not out here to prove anything. I'm not out here to be someone's idol or anything like that. He's just like, I'm just good at it, and I work my ass off, but like, my motivation to be something lies somewhere else, or something along those lines. So I mean, it's not like he's a dude driven. Obviously, he's driven to be good, but it's not like it consumes him like it might with like a Tiger or a Rory or somebody else like that. His game is different. Like, he's got like a way more consistent game. Like, Rory kind of will drive it all over the map for times. Like, Scotty doesn't do that. Like, this was his bad driving week, and it wasn't great, but it was fine. And then he just peers the shit out of his irons. He gets it up and down. Like, barring injury, right? Like, and I know we were probably here with Rory. We were like, oh, Rory's going to get to 10. And like, weird shit happens in golf. Like, you have these runs. I've mentioned it before. Go back in time and look at like everybody who wins majors, like Spieth, Rory outside of the Masters here now. Go back in history, Tom Watson, Arnold Player. Like, people win majors in like short windows usually, but they don't play consistent golf like he does. No. Like he's just stacking up other wins stage, too.
But he just rattles off that he's always on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
His name is just there. Like, oh man, we talked about it a couple times on the pod. Oh wow, Scotty didn't have a good week. T9.
Yeah, his bad weeks are still really good.
You brought up his press conference before the tournament, which I found to be really, really good. But what bothers me a little bit about, I guess, the way that our world just works now is that, like, I think anybody who watched that with any sort of intelligence takes from that the same thing that you just said, and takes from that like, I'm a really good golfer, but I'm not going to let golf define me. Right? And to watch the modern media portray that as like, I don't care about golf is just like a mind-bogglingly ridiculous thing to take from a guy who's literally opening his entire like brain, heart, everything to you to talk about like where he sees himself in like this world. And I think the one thing that you didn't say that I took away that he kind of said was that, or that you could kind of infer, I don't know if he actually said it or not, but like when Tiger became Tiger, there was definitely a push by a lot of people, including Nike, for Tiger to be the person who like grows the game of golf, right? Like we're going to force you to go to China and play in the events over there because we're going to grow the game of golf in Japan and China and Asia and India and Abu Dhabi and all these other places, right? Like that's not Scotty. And that has to somewhat help him maintain that balance of I'm going to be really good dad, really good husband, and I also have the ability to be a really good golfer because I don't have to worry about investing in that, right? Like he might go overseas and play in something, but like he's not doing the same marketing stuff and appearance stuff that a Tiger was doing, and that has to be a benefit to him the way he is just structurally in life.
Jordan
Yeah,
Spieth.
I think the stress of it is different for him, right? Because he isn't letting the game define him. Those other guys, I feel like to an extent, they feel that the game is going to define who they are. So now the pressure is 100 times more for them.
100%. If you genuinely believe, like, the coolest thing about my Sunday night is that, like, Bennett and I are going to go grab ice cream after this round is done, like, if you genuinely believe that, it has to make you feel a little bit less pressure than other people would feel on the golf course trying to close that golf tournament.
Yeah, I forget. Somebody made a joke. They're trying so hard to like make the like Scotty Portrush like after the British Open, like the party's on at Portrush, and someone's like, the dude just wants to go home and sit on his couch and watch The Office with his wife and kid. Like that's what he's like. How soon can I get out of here? Like I know I've got to do it, but I'm ready to go home. And Jordan Spieth had an interesting post round. Somebody asked him about Scotty. And he's like, yeah, he's not like us. Like, he doesn't do the corporate stuff. Like, he doesn't do the endorsements. Like, it's just not, he's like, he's got hobbies. Like, we don't really know what they are, but, like, he's got them, I'm sure. And it's like, yeah, he really has, like, kept himself out of the spotlight. Like, he's not in any commercials. Like, he's been in a couple of TaylorMade commercials where they're standing on the range hitting balls. I mean, beyond that, like, he's not sponsored by Buick or MasterCard or, you know, any of that stuff. It's just he plays golf and goes home. It's really an incredible thing. It's very much the opposite of what you'd expect to see out of like the superstar of the league.
I mean, think about the reaction that Rory had, like the emotion rather, when he won the Masters. Like he couldn't control himself. When Scotty gets his Grand Slam, he's just gonna walk off the course and go home. You know, he's not gonna break down like Rory did. I just can't see him doing that.
Yeah, it's so funny. Scotty, and it was the same way at the PGA. He like shakes hands, hugs Ted Scott, shakes hands with the guys he was playing with and the other caddy, takes like a minute, then like lets something out real quick, and then it's like he's got his kid in his hand.
Yeah.
And then he's just like kind of smiling and laughing, like, oh yeah, I did it again. It's really incredible. Absolutely incredible. What a guy. Scotty Scheffler.
Jeff, you mentioned it yesterday, I think, about how much Nike was killing the ads with him, though.
Killed the ads.
Killed them.
Killed the ads. They always do, but like them playing off of the he doesn't care or he has enough or whatever it was, killed it.
Yeah, it was like, we know you don't need it, but one more wouldn't hurt anyway.
Yeah,
that was a good one. Well, shall we talk about some other guys that played in this tournament just quickly here? I mean, I feel like I got to toot my own horn a little bit. I forgot to mention him at the start of the tournament. Waiter pointed that out to me.
No. You're not tooting.
Oh, you don't get to
You
toot your
didn't
own
mention him.
I'm tooting my own horn. I've built up enough cred with this guy that I'm counting it for this week too. I don't really care what you guys say. This is my show, so I'm counting it. My guy, Harris English. I've been on him all year. I was on him in secret this week is all, but Harris English, another second here. Gotta be. We'll talk a little Ryder Cup, but gotta be good for the Ryder Cup that we saw him come through. But kind of the maybe surprise of the last 2 weeks, Chris Gotterup. Jeff, you and I were talking in the preview. We're like, oh yeah, Chris Gotterup, wins the Scottish Open, and I think both you and I mentioned things like, oh, this course doesn't really translate to what they're going to play the next week. Chris Gotterup didn't give a shit about that. That's for sure.
Did not care. I think I saw something that he doubled his PGA Tour career earnings the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or nearly doubled it, right? 2.7 and change with 2.7 on the dot or something really close.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what it was. He doubled it.
Not too bad. Jersey guy, stand up, waiter.
Rutgers grad from Rumson.
I did see somebody tweet about it. I guess I missed it, but I guess they were trying to make a story out about how great it is that he's this and this incredibly hardworking blue collar background and yada yada yada, and then we find out his dad was playing in the Pine Valley member guest this weekend and not even overseas.
I think that was last weekend when he won the Scottish, but point still
stands.
Oh,
was it?
I think so.
Same thing flies.
Yeah. Hardworking background. Your kid's about to win his first tournament, and you're playing the Pine Valley.
All these dudes do that. There's a story out there, something about how Scheffler's mom did 3 or 4 different things that enabled them to get his first membership to where he started playing. If you don't,
his mom's a CEO for some Dallas financial company.
Right, exactly. She took out a second mortgage on the house to get him into a country club before they hit it big or some random thing. It's that seems to be a prerequisite for a lot of these guys.
Well, they do the same thing, totally kind of different, different level of player here, but with Pam Young, they're like, oh yeah, his dad was just a country club pro, simple upbringing, just kind of worked at the golf course. And it's then you whatever it's Sleepy Oaks or something or Sleepy something. It's it's one of the top 20 golf courses in the New York City area. It's oh, okay.
Sleepy
Hollow.
He's
really fucking Sleepy Hollow. That's it. He was really fucking roughing it out there.
Yeah. Tough.
He was getting $100 handshakes from every member who walked by so they could grease the pros kid. Hao Tong Lee reappears into our lives. Jeff, I don't know if you remember this, but this was a number of years ago. He was kind of like a young guy on the scene coming out of China. And you and I were both watching, not together, different rooms, but we were both watching the Wednesday Masters press conferences. And for every player, it had to have been the same Chinese reporter that was there. What do you know about Hao Tong Lee's game? And they're all yeah, he's great, man. And you could tell the players were I don't know who the fuck Hao Tong Lee is.
Yes, and it was him, and then there was another player that caught on for. There was a run of 2 or 3 guys that over the next 12 majors, one guy was planted in that room to ask everybody about who it was. It might have been Shabankar Sharma the one year when he was in it for India or whatever it was, but Hao Tong feels where it began. Waiter and I were talking about this yesterday. Hao Tong at the Dubai Desert Classic was the winner the one year when that person had won the Masters 2 or 3 straight years. And everybody was Hao Tong to win the Masters. Right?
Hao Tong was the guy who was leading the British a couple years ago and went directly to the range and was there for 4 hours, right?
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Well, it's funny because there was an interview with him that he did the complete opposite this year. He said he
like quit golf for like 6 months, I think.
He felt terrible about his game. He got there and didn't feel like fighting for a tee time for a practice round. She didn't play one. And just went to the range, hit a bucket of balls, and called it a day.
What a guy, Hao Tong. Xander Schauffele, signs of life. He seems to be trending upwards, coming out of injury here now and finding himself a little bit. A guy we wrote off for the week on last week, Jeff, Bryson DeChambeau, 14 under on his last 3 rounds. Not super surprising, I would say. Ooh, that's some light.
We're just going to hang out here in the darkness.
I don't think it's super surprising that he played better Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's kind of the conditions allowed for that. I wouldn't say that this performance means he's got the British Open all figured out, but yeah, he was there. He figured it out. He grinded. Got to give him credit for that. Still talking about his ball a little bit. I saw. Was still looking for the ball that spins less, flies lower, flies straighter.
He is still talking about that, and just so that we get it on the record, I am still rooting for him in his search for said ball.
Yes, Bryson, this whole podcast is behind you. And when you find said ball, we will be, test market influencers, endorsers. Yep. I'd be happy to shout that ball out every podcast multiple times. This podcast can be brought to you by the Flyer straighting ball, the straighter flying ball for all I care. So,
100%. It just doesn't need to have a different color or something like Volvix. That's where they started going wrong.
We were in Arizona. You might remember this, Wiater. Zach Place was losing 10 balls around, and we went to PGA Superstore, and the Volvix were $19 for a 24 pack.
Mm-hmm.
And they had all these crazy colors, but places nah, I'm just getting white. And he busted them out at the course the next day and was hitting practice putts with them. And they weren't golf ball white. They were ping pong ball white, an off-white thing. And he was what the fuck is this? I'm out here playing with ping pong balls. So yeah, Volvic, head of the times with the crazy ball colors there. Anything else from the British, from Scotty, that we need to discuss that we missed here before I kind of move us into a couple other topics here?
Another strong showing from Keegan Bradley.
That was going to come up. His name was going to come up very shortly here, Matt. So that's a perfect segue because I want to talk Ryder Cup. And I'm gonna share my screen here for a minute so that we can. Well, maybe I'm going to share my screen. There it is. So we can see the Ryder Cup standings here. Obviously, Scotty in just an incredible, completely doubling up second place. So you can add what? It takes the next 3 guys to reach his point total. Hopefully we haven't lost Jeff forever. Hopefully he's just got his camera off for a second. He's back. That's good. But here's our top 6, and you're catching a little bit of Justin Thomas there. Now, I don't think Scotty's on there, obviously. I think all those guys, the top 6 are all locks now. And I don't think there's any discussion there, and I don't even know how many of them could fall out. JJ Spawn and Russell Henley at Bethpage, I don't know if that's the greatest fit. JJ Spawn has been still playing some pretty good golf since the U.S. Open, which is a good thing to see. You don't love when you see a guy win a major and then kind of rockets up onto the Ryder Cup team and then doesn't really have any form going forward. But the discussion gets real interesting down here in these parts. So there's, 7 to 14. So the next set of guys. Wiater, who are your next 6? We're going to lock in the top 6. They're all playing. Who are your next 6 guys that you're picking? And if you need me to scroll down the board farther...
I may need you to scroll down, but hold on. We're going to go Justin Thomas, Keegan Bradley, Maverick McNeely. You might have to scroll, bud. Sam Burns. Ooh, scroll back up. I really do not like Colin Morikawa for this team, but I guess I have to pick him based off my options here.
I think he's going.
And then it's going to be an unpopular pick, but I like Brian Harman.
Was that 6?
That was 6.
Okay. Jeff?
Before you go, Jeff, I did see something today that Luke Donald had to agree to something where Keegan could give other captains more responsibility if he were to play.
Speaking responsibility is what I heard.
Yeah. So
They're
I think
not
that's
allowed to give advice or something like that. I actually didn't know that. I guess it makes sense to limit how many assistant captains you can have. But
yeah, only captains can give advice out on the course, I believe, right?
yeah, not vice captains. I didn't know that.
All right, Jeff. Your next 6.
I also believe JT is going, and I believe that Keegan is going. I believe that Colin Morikawa is also going to go. The next, I think those 3, to be honest, are like locks at this point. As long as Keegan picks himself, he's certainly going to play. And you could argue, given his skill set, it's a disservice to the country for him not to play.
I think for the course setup at Bethpage, he has to be there.
Has to be there.
Especially when you got guys, when we scroll back up to Russell Henley and JJ Spawn on the team, that you're going to have to use kind of wisely out there.
Yeah. I think it's possible that Harris English doesn't finish 6th and isn't automatic, but I do think he's going.
He's going. He should be.
So I would say that it's JT, it's Morikawa, it's Keegan, and then I would not take anybody that you have on your screen currently.
Oh?
No. The next 2 right there that you have at the top would be my next 2. A lot of the Sam Burns thing for me, I think he's going to play well this week. You always get one of those guys who kind of just plays well and rides that going into getting selected as a pick for the team. Cantlay, he is what he is, but he hasn't been that bad. He just hasn't been the guy that we want him to be or we thought he could be. But the results outside of the majors are still fine. You can make the case that there's not a single other guy that we're going to take besides Scotty Scheffler. And then we know he barely claims to care about the PGA Tour. I'm sure he doesn't care about the Ryder Cup outside of trying to win because it's something else to win. Cantlay does give a shit about this tournament or this event. He showed
and has
that.
Played well in it. 5-3-1.
Played very well in it. And someone else would have to really come through to steal the spot. And I know it's a little bit prisoner of the moment, but it fits the place. But I would take Chris Goddard up today in large part because of the issues that the team has in terms of how it's being constructed. It's JJ Spawn, it's Russell Henley, and then you start looking at other guys. Morikawa's not the longest guy on tour, but he's going to go. JT's not the longest guy on tour, but he's going to go. Sam Burns, I just picked. He's not the longest guy. He's not the shortest guy, but they need some guys out there that, especially for that 4-ball portion of the event, can just go on that golf course and send it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I think even if Harris English falls out of the top 6, he's a lock. Justin Thomas is a lock. I think Colin Morikawa is a lock. So I'm up to 8. I think Ben Griffin's going to go. His kind of player profile isn't terrible for Bethpage. He's kind of just launch the driver and hit it far and go find it and go do it again. And I think Keegan. So I think that's 7 through 10 on the board. I think those guys are all in. So I think you're looking for 2 from there. And so really, you've got Mav McNeely, Brian Harman. I think Brian Harman's going to get overlooked a little bit because of course fit and because of the things Jeff just mentioned. That there's already a couple of guys who aren't the longest players in the world on the team. So you're looking Andrew Novak, unless he gets real hot. I think his little run of Ryder Cup possibility is gone. Pat Cantlay, I think, on top of being pretty good in the Ryder Cup in the past, he loves like the PGA Tour playoffs. Like this next stretch of golf for him, he's going to play well, it feels like. And he's going to kind of rocket himself up the board a little bit into like that, 10, 11 area on the rankings. And it's going to be hard for a captain to be like, yeah, we're not bringing Cantlay. He pairs with Xander. He's got a good record. He's been playing a little bit better golf of late. So now I think we're down to one. And, the guys you're looking at, it's Mav McNeely, Sam Burns, Wyndham Clark, Lucas Glover, Daniel Berger, Cam Young. I mean, Chris Goddard, Spieth's out there, but like Spieth would have to get hot coming in. That said, like if Spieth gets hot coming in, you're going to act like they're not going to take him though. Like where do we fall on that? I don't think he should be on the team. Let me put that out there. I don't think he should be. But like if he gets hot coming in, there's going to be all the pressure in the world to take him.
We're going to have to define what hot means. He's going to have to win, in my opinion.
You think he has to win to get into the conversation?
I do.
I think my last spot, just for the record, would have come down to Goddard and Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin has played really well this year, and he drives it further than he used to. I think the ball's in Goddard's court. Someone's going to have to go and take it. If Goddard keeps playing well, it probably is going to force someone like Spieth to win a golf tournament. If I was anybody else on this list, if I was Novak, if I was Harman, if I was McNeely, I would expect that if I was Ben Griffin, I think I have to win again. If Ben Griffin wins again, he's going to Bethpage, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can't win 3 times in a year and not go, right?
What are there, 5 tournaments left?
The 3M. Is there a
Wyndham, and then the 3 playoff events. So 5 tournaments left. I mean, if Ben Griffin throws the top 5 in there, kind of hard to leave him off, right?
It all depends on what these other guys do, though. Like, it is easy to leave him off.
There's a lot of golf left.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Goddard was not even in the conversation a month ago, right? And it's very possible that he comes back across the states and plays terrible the next 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, we're not talking about him. But today, I would take that dude.
A guy we didn't mention at all, and like just looking at the couple of tournaments that we're going to play here, Tony Finau. Like Tony Finau could go out and win the 3M. Like he's done it before, I believe.
What's his record?
His ranking? He's at 21st.
No, what's his record? He's played in it before, right?
Oh, record in the Ryder Cup? I don't think it's good.
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't feel like it's good.
3-3. In 2018, wow, this is kind of weird. In 2018, they got boat raced over in, what was that, France? Yeah, that was France. He went 2-1, actually beat Tommy Fleetwood in his singles match. And then in 2021, when they absolutely smashed, he went 1-2 and lost to Ian Poulter, who was fucking dreadful that week. So he played better in the one they lost, funny enough, but nothing remarkable there.
I think he probably needs to win and do something else.
Win and make the Tour Championship?
Well, just like he's got to be on a couple leaderboards and win one of them. Like he's been dreadful for too long.
So what does Goddard got to do? Because he's 22nd in the points right now.
I don't know that he has to win.
There's got to be a couple. I don't think he has to win, but there's got to be a couple top tens in there.
Yeah. He has to show that his game is still in order. No, he still makes cuts.
When's he going to play again?
Let's see where he's at in the FedEx Cup. That'll probably determine a lot of it.
I would assume pretty high now.
This is the FedEx Cup standings? Yeah, it is. 23rd. So he's well within... He's within the cut number to the Tour Championship. So he's got to make the Tour Championship, that's for sure.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
He can't fall out of that.
No, I would say you can't fall out of that. I think I'd look to like St. Jude. Like that's a place that like in my head I feel like he's got to play well at a place like that. I don't know. In my head, I just think of guys who hit it long. Maybe it's because I just think Brooks played there well a number of times, but I have no idea. But I was trying to see if there's a comp like type of course from a distance perspective. But there maybe really isn't one. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how this team shakes out. I have gone back and forth over the U.S. team's chances here, and I've kind of almost reverted myself back to the Euros are going to win. But then if you look at the data golf rankings over the last, 6 months, it's like of the first 12 guys on that, it's like 9 Americans. But, when you look at the British, the European team, it sounds better. Rory, Robert McIntyre, Tommy Fleetwood, Tyrrell Hatton, Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka, Rasmus Højgaard, Justin Rose, Ludwig, Victor Hovland, Thomas Dietrich, Matt Wallace, Matt Fitzpatrick. John Rahm's way down the list somewhere, but John Rahm's playing. But then you kind of dial into that a little bit. It's Robert McIntyre's playing good. Tommy Fleetwood's not doing, anything great, really. Lowry has been solid. Sepp Straka's had a up and down last month. It's Rasmus Højgaard. Ludwig hasn't been himself. Victor Hovland hasn't been crazy good this year. So I don't know. I flip-flop so much, and I just come back to the hope that it's so hard to win a Ryder Cup on foreign soil that hopefully that's what holds through, and that you can pretty much trot out, anybody 1 to 20 on the U.S. team, and they're going to be able to do pretty well in a home setting and a home course and home cooking and all that stuff. So,
what do you think it's worth? 1.5?
Seems to be worth more than that.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, it does.
Based on the results the last few years.
Tour Championship the same weekend as the Invite this year.
Is it? The Tour Championship that is just winner take all. No points matter coming in. Just if you win the tournament, you win all the money. That feels like the worst possible way to determine the winner at the end of this.
Especially if you want us to care about the whole season.
I think we talked about this before, but I wasn't the biggest fan of the starting strokes. But that's better than this.
Agreed.
It is.
I mean, I've thought it's gotten worse every iteration they've done of it. If you're expecting us to believe that it's supposed to be the culmination of a whole season.
Back to Ryder Cup for a second. To lift the trophy, USA is currently minus 145.
Okay. Makes me feel better. I wonder what the odds were going into.
More than we do, for sure.
It was a lot higher about 6 months ago.
Weren't we favorites going into Rome, though?
Yeah, we were minus 200 at Bethpage as of 6 months ago.
Well, 6 months ago, I felt worse about the team than I do today.
Maybe it wasn't 6. Maybe it was 12. At some point, we were minus 200.
Maybe not 6 months ago because it's only July, but sometime in February or March, I was we're going to get fucking steamrolled. And then there was a stretch in the midsummer where I was nah, we're gonna steamroll them. But now I don't know. I'm kind of flipping back a little bit. I don't know. I think the other big problem is, are any of the Americans going to play between the Tour Championship and the Ryder Cup? Because they didn't last year outside of Justin Thomas because he was trying to find his game. Like, they all just take a month off. Like, are they going to rectify that this year? Or do you think they all just do the same thing? They play the Tour Championship, they take 2 weeks off, and they're like, oh, we got 2 weeks till the Ryder Cup. We'll try and dial it back up.
That.
You think that's exactly what
PGA
they do?
Tour's own fault. They want the season to be done by football. It's stupid.
Why don't they just move the Ryder Cup up a little bit then?
Or do that.
Like, if you want the season to be done by football, get the Ryder Cup out ahead of football. Just go right into the playoffs. Just take 1 week off right into the playoffs, and then Ryder Cup takes the Tour Championship weekend, and then you're done. Then you're really done before football. Seems like we're missing something there.
There's got to be honest with you, the answer is probably that the Euro Tour does not finish in time. And they are not going to change their schedule because of our football that's not played with the feet.
Oh, shit. Well, boys, I think we covered some ground here tonight. Anything else we need to cover? You want to cover WNBA All-Star Game, Jeff?
No, I have not had dinner yet. So if you guys would like to talk about that, you're more than welcome to.
I'm all set on that. I was just trying to entice you into something there. All right, Jeff, final words for you. What do you got?
Final words. It's hard. It's very strange to be at this point in July and there only be one golf event the rest of the year that we care about. I don't know how I feel about that feeling. It is certainly cool to have the PGA in May, and that stretch is really good, but we talked about it on the previous pod. They got to do something with these elevated events. They have to do something to get us caring about golf longer into the season. I don't know how that fits into sponsors and events that happen like Torrey Pines and Pebble Beach and Waste Management, but to get to the middle of July when all of us are ramping up our playing, for that to coincide with having less golf to actually care about and enjoy seems to be a problem. And while I have the mic and I just shout out Ricky Fowler, a solid week last week in Birkdale. He took those sponsors exemptions from being on the tour committee or whatever he's on and rolled himself into Birkdale, and a great week at 3M this week, and maybe a little late playoff push, and we get Ricky in that Ryder Cup talk.
No, we're not doing that again. No more Ricky on the Ryder Cup teams. He sucks.
Less today than he did a couple months ago.
And he'll suck in a month, 2 months from now, the same amount. So, Wiater, your final words here for us today.
That's really hard to follow up. I honestly don't have much. Jeff, good luck in your qualifier tomorrow. That's what I've got.
All right, gentlemen. Well, major season is over. We'll see you guys again in the spring. Time for some passing thoughts. The secret is completely out on TSA pre-check. I should have never talked about it. Should have never mentioned it. But it's out. It's completely out. And it's been ruined. I'm traveling last week. Had a flight. Get there Monday morning. I know Monday mornings are busy. But the pre-check is like flowing out. I get off you come in the Madison airport and you go up the elevator and then it's usually around and then the lines start. It's backed all out and curving out right in front of the escalators. I had to rearrange around some people to get in line right off the escalators. Go back to the normal line, people. You don't have to take your shoes off there anymore. It's not worth the $85. Don't do it. Pre-check is no longer worth it. Don't do it. Get away. Be gone. Be very gone. Just go away. Don't want you here. It's tough. It's tough because I just want to get in there. I want to get there 45 minutes before my flight, buzz through the line, and think to myself, can I show up 30 minutes before my flight next time? I was traveling with the sticks, so I got there a little extra early, about an hour 15 instead of, the usual hour, and there I am, waiting in line. Bullshit. Didn't want that. Didn't want that at all. Stunk. We can talk my Cleveland Guardians here real quick. I'll toss this in here. I'm not going to do a separate segment on them. But they bounced back. They coming off the 10-game losing streak, they did exactly what I said they had to do. They swept the Astros in that spot. They took 3 of 4 from the White Sox. I think that was the last time we spoke. So coming out of the break, they take 2 or 3 from the A's. They drop 1, get the shit kicked out of them. But they'd won 8 of the last 10, kind of almost have made up the deficit they put themselves in. As I record this right now, it's the bottom of the 7th inning. They're up 6-5 against the Orioles. Had fallen down 3-0. Jose had hit a home run to put us on the board. They gave up a couple more in the second. It's actually 7-5. Somebody just scored something here. Let's see what it says. Nolan Jones walked, so we walked in a run. Manzardo and Bo Naylor have homered, so nice. So kind of bringing it together. Carlos Santana drove in a run, so the boys are hitting. So get through these couple with the Orioles. Not these couple. This is a 4-game set, so go get some there. As I mentioned before, Orioles last place in the AL East. Obviously, the AL East is a good division. Everybody else but the Orioles are above 500. Have the Royals next to, they've fallen off. They're 4 games under 500 right now. They have won 6 of their last 10, but again, not the toughest, stretch of games here still. Then the Rockies after the Royals and the Twins, who again not great. Before you finally get to the Mets, who are, a pretty solid team. But that's not until, when does the Mets series kick off? Mets series doesn't kick off till August 4th. So, the rest of July is still go get it phase. Like, go find something, go pick up some wins, get yourself back into this wild card race. Even winning 8 of the last 10, haven't made up a lot of ground in the wild card. Still 4.5 back, and still 3 back of the Rays, who are 1.5 back, obviously, if you can do math, but still 4.5 back. Still got to leapfrog the Angels, Rangers, Rays, and then catch up to either the Mariners or the Red Sox. The good thing being that is both the Mariners and the Red Sox, who are in the 2 and 3 spot in the wild card race, are tied. It's not like the Mariners are 2 or 3 games out ahead of the 3rd place team in the wild card. There's a couple of teams right there that could, you don't need just one team to falter. You've got a couple options there. So, there's still some hope. We haven't thrown in the towel completely on the Guardian season, but it's starting to get late early if you aren't just piling wins on here. Like, you got to be winning series. You got to win every one of these series until you get to the Mets. But again, coming out of the Mets, you got the White Sox, you got the Marlins. So, the White Sox obviously stink. The Marlins aren't great, 46 and 52. So, again, there's a runway here, and you got to be on it. So, there's hope. There's hope. Other sport thing, Alexander Usyk knocks out Daniel Dubois in some boxing. Cool, fun knockout to see. I didn't watch any of the fight, but Usyk just line him up, knock him down. That guy's a for real all time heavyweight there. His Dubois fight was maybe one of the only disputed ones, which was, I didn't think that disputed with the low blow that people argued wasn't a low blow. So so line him up, knock him down for Mr. Alexander Usyk there. Manny Pacquiao came back and fought. Thank God I know boxing comes on so late, because I was tempted. Pacquiao's my favorite fighter ever. He's 46. Loses a majority draw. He did not lose the fight technically. I believe it was a majority draw. There were plenty of people out there saying questionable scorecards in that. I'm shocked, I tell you, to hear that there was some questionable scorecards in boxing. Elsewhere, Stephen Colbert will be the Late Show. I think he's the Late Show, right? That was inherited the Letterman. Will be done, and he will be off the air, and the Late Show will be off the air. The story, not so much is that is happening; it's the reaction to it. That this is being portrayed as like some affront to free speech because Colbert criticized Trump. It's like, well, everybody criticizes Trump. Like, I think maybe the reason you're getting fired is that reports are out that you were losing $27 to $40 million a year, and Colbert was getting paid $18 million. I mean, there are people legitimately posting like, "Oh, this is scary. This is frightening." It's like they were losing $40 million. Does anyone watch the late night shows anymore? Like, it's not Leno and Letterman. Like, it's not. It's just it's a thing that's going away. And CBS was just one of the first people to pull the trigger. I mean, if you're losing $40 million, like, hey, if it's got, passe, if you will, in the cultural zeitgeist, it's one thing, but like, I don't know a single person who watches a late night show. I can't tell you the last time I was like, oh yeah, I'm up that late and I'll throw it on, or even like I record it and watch it the next day. Like, I may see a clip or two floating around like Twitter or Instagram, but even that's rare. It's got to be like somebody like I follow on those platforms. And it's like, now it's like, it's not even them. You'd followed them 100 years ago when Twitter was still fun. And now it's just like, oh, it's their PR teams run it, and they're on a spot. And so now they're just retweeting it because that's what they do. Like, that's the only time I see clips of that, unless it's something completely outlandish that, catches fire for like 6 minutes and then it's gone. So I think it's just a different era in media, and that's all there is to it. I'm not doing the WME thing though. I thought I was. Here's what I'll do. The league's never made a profit. There you go. That may change. I guess there's a new TV rights deal coming up, but the league's never made a profit. I know they get a paltry amount in comparison to what other pro sports leagues get, but like, the league doesn't make money. It's just all there is to it. When the league starts making money and they want to bitch and complain, like, hey, I'm with you, but like, the league doesn't make money. You're getting more than you deserve right now. Like, your product does not make money. That's the fact of the fact. Shane Gillis did the ESPYs, and it was incredible. I mean, just flamethrower shit up there. It was funny how uncomfortable you could tell the crowd was. I mean, the highlight was definitely when he pointed out Matt McCusker's wife and said she was a 4-time NBA All-Star. And then it was just like, oh, yeah, that's just my friend's wife. I just knew you guys would clap for if I said somebody was WNBA. I know you guys didn't watch. Just masterful stuff. He did a lot of other good jokes. I mean, really went after Bill Belichick, went after Trump, just went after everybody. The Megan Rapinoe, oh, we're going to act like she's a good time. Just great stuff all around. Just really fun. And then what have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of movies lately. I watched 4 movies. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 5. I watched 5 movies this past week. 5 of them. Honestly, spent some time on a plane, so I knocked out a couple. One out, one back. Den of Thieves 2. Not bad. It was fine. Like, it wasn't as good as Den of Thieves 1, but like, it was a perfect plane movie. Like, I had nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. Popped that on the iPad and, enjoyed it. It was good. You think you think one way, you look the other, and all of a sudden you're back around. So, Den of Thieves 2, it was fine. Like, solidly enjoyable. Then watch Sinners. Sinners been getting a lot of love. It was good. It's like one of those movies, and we've all watched them. I can't think of a good example of one, but it's like, it's really good, and then it like takes a left turn, and you're like, that was okay. Like, that they executed it well, and like the acting was good, but like there was something more there. There was another way to do that I think I would have liked it more. A little less supernatural. I won't spoil. Hopefully I'm not spoiling. Just spoiler alert for like the next minute. Not even a total spoiler. I'm not going to give away the whole thing, but like, lose the supernatural elements of it. And like, I think like a really fun, like the South in the 30s, these 2 black brothers, Michael B. Jordan playing, a set of twins, distinguishing, just little things, one wears a blue hat, one wears a red hat, kind of a little bit different, attitudes that help you distinguish them. They actually keep them separate for most of the movie. Fun. I think there was a different way to go about it. And hey, I'm an idiot. It's not like I could do it. Like, I can't write a movie, but like, all in all, I enjoyed it. I thought there was a different way to do it that I think I would have liked more. I don't know. Maybe I would. Also, I watched 5 movies this week that I've never seen before. I watched Road Trip for the first time. Never had seen Road Trip in my life. It was good. It was funny. I enjoyed it. It's dated. Like, you can tell the time frame it came out in. The jokes, everything, like, you could tell it's from, 2000, 2001 or whatever it was. But yeah, it was still funny. It was still funny to watch a movie like that. Also watched Heads of State on Amazon Prime. That's John Cena and Idris Elba. I don't know why I thought this, but the roommate wanted to watch a comedy. And I was like, oh, this looks like a comedy. I saw this. Not so much a comedy. There were like funny-ish moments, but much more like buddy cop, style movie with a little hint here and there. The preview I watched made it seem like it was going to be much more comedy focused than it was. And then finally I watched Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling. I really enjoyed that one. Again, I thought that one was going to be portrayed a little bit more as a comedy than it was. Not as much to the extent that I thought Heads of State was supposed to be a comedy. But all in all, I thought that was supposed to be a little more comedy as well to it. But all of those were enjoyable watches. Like, nothing, I didn't think anything that was like incredible or must see, but like, definitely, like, if someone's like, oh, I might watch this movie, I'd be like, yeah, you should watch it. Like, you'll enjoy it. It's a good time. So yeah, that's all I got. Let's go wrap this thing up. Closing time, everybody. Just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, first off, to producer Kevy for helping us get started down the video path here. Thank you to Wiater and Slano for coming on this week, as well as many other weeks, to help us do major previews and recaps. So thank you. Thank you to all you people watching and listening. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, rate, review, do all that stuff. So big thanks there. And don't forget about my guy, MJ, at the Full Range Podcast on Spotify and on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. Also, be on the lookout. MJ and I are going to be doing our NFL preview segments here here shortly within, we usually start them mid-August or so. So they're just right around the corner. So that stuff's all coming. Check out the merch shop on Fourth Wall. Link is in the show notes. And, other than that, we'll be back next week. We got more stuff to talk about, more golf, more Ryder Cup implications, more Cleveland Guardians baseball, what I'm watching, what I'm doing, all that other good fun stuff. So, till next week, peace!